share your camper, I know there's plenty of people that want to do that, come find me. So I will always lead the group. And as we were walking around, I think we're going to walk around clockwise. So we're going to start here, walk around clockwise. As we approach your camper and you want to give a little tour, find me and tell me, and then I'll direct everybody there. Try to keep, if you're going to do a tour, just try to keep it pretty short and sweet, because as you can imagine, this can draw on for a very long time. So try to keep it to just 2 or 3 things that you love or you want to share, or just show people what you've done. You can ask questions, whatever, and then I'll kind of round everybody up and move us to the next camper.
My name is Dan. This is a 2020 Tundra, and I bought this I ordered it in July of 20. So I waited 6 months for it. So during that 6 months, all I thought about was what to do with the inside. So it's a little overbuilt, but it all comes from my head while I couldn't sleep at night. So I had some criteria. I wanted to be able to fit my bicycle in the middle, inside the truck, so it's tip to tail, it's long enough to fit my bike, and I had to sleep 3 people. It had to have a toilet, it had to have a fridge, and onboard water, onboard power, onboard solar, so all those had to be accommodated. So solar's on the roof. I've got a 13-gallon onboard water tank in the back corner, back here in a cabinet, and I can fill it from through the side window here in a little port. And then the 2 no-name AGM batteries that I'm going to soon switch over to lithium, I think, I don't know, are in the cabinet in the front there that I can access. I've got a Red Arc battery management system, Red Arc AC DC-DC 25, that controls the solar and the onboard charging. It does a pretty good job. It's got a sink, it's got a water pump, it's got a water tank heater, which is kind of nice to have sometimes. This table folds down, so this is the 3rd bed right here, and of course the top slides out to a king-size bed, which is nice. So I can sleep 3. Normally it's just me, so I just leave the bed in that configuration because it's easy. I don't have to mess with it, and I can sleep almost anywhere, anyway. So I'm pretty good with that. I did a lot of things to make it simple and make it accommodate what I needed. It's got an onboard instant hot water heater here with a shower and a shower cube on that side. And then I put a 270-degree awning that I had to really think about because I had to figure out how to mount it away from the side of the camper, because I didn't want to just bolt it right to the side of the camper. So I had to fabricate these mounts, and they had to raise it up a little bit so it would accommodate the height of this, and then make it around these lights that I had added. So I also had to move the latch around the corner to accommodate that. So this is really nice. It provides a fair amount of shade. As you can see, this is like the perfect show-off time, because this is the maximum amount of shade that I ever get. Slide out fridge. I made this slide out. So it slides out there, and I can also access it from the inside if I need to. I made these cabinets. I made them so I could take them out, if I wanted to use it for a real truck, but when I ended up, I really don't want to ever take them out because they're really in there. I get a lot of comments about the doors. This came to me in the night. I love maps. I love paper maps. So I figured out a way to put maps on the doors and the drawer fronts down here, and then on the top of the countertop up here, I did the same thing, except I used 2-part epoxy, clear epoxy up on top, so it's a real nice working countertop, and then the table also. So on the table, There's a map of Death Valley on the top up here. There's a map of Moab, and this is the Eastern Sierras over here, and then this is, what is this? Oh, this is Mojave. So all my favorite places. So if I get lost, if I happen to be on the map that I've happened to glue on the door, then I can find myself.
Do the drawers fit next to the driving position?
Yeah, right. Take out the door fronts and put it on my dashboard. That's what I need next, right?
The old GPS.
Yeah, old school. Yeah, it's got lights. It's got inside lights. I kind of had fun with LED lights. These came, but I put this on, and this is amazingly bright. And then I've got the lower lights underneath the cabinet here. So this is really nice. Yeah, mood lighting. So if I, those are really bright, and you can of course dim them. But if you don't want it like right in your face, you can turn this on, and it's really nice at night. Started with just a 3/4 inch base. Used 1/2 inch and 3/8 Baltic birch back when it was affordable. And yeah, built everything. I laminated it with, I don't think they call it Formica, but anyway, it's just a countertop laminate, and edged it with the same thing. It's not very durable, I found out, for what I use it for. Probably in the kitchen it's great, but here it's not very durable. But it does the job. I may redo it at some point, but yeah, lagging table swing out, so I can swing that table into any position. So actually 3 people can sit down and eat here and there and then back there. And the table's not big enough for 3 plates, but there's seating for 3 plates.
Technology then. So it has dual battleboard batteries, 300 watts of flexible solar, and the inverter, which is really nice because we used to carry a Honda generator with us for when we use we use a George Foreman grill all the time, and so that made it nice to be able to charge phones and cameras without setting up the generator.
We've got an inverter.
And it sits on a 1-ton Cummins diesel with a manual transmission, and it's got a really nice suspension system. I did not build this vehicle. I inherited it when my buddy passed away. So the only thing I did is to finish it off was to upgrade the electrical. And I had zero declination to do that in Reno. And that's where we're from. We're from Reno. So. Anyhow, that's it. I don't see many of the Granby, 8-foot Granbys out here. So
Yeah, well, there's a few.
there is a few, because I looked yesterday, like ox looked like the.
They do.
I have another battery over here. This is a Yeti 1500X. I use that for my sink, for all kinds of other random electronics. I just like having as much power as possible as photographers and less your fires training. And I have a set of solar panels that I can just take around the board and I'll set up wherever I need to. But solar on the roof is plenty for me. How much do you have? It's 1500, then I have a old Yeti 400X in my front that I just kind of bring around. But then also these are awesome, highly recommend. Magic mesh, you can get it for $30 at Walmart. I just trimmed this and put, some of the Velcro is sticking. Most of the Velcro is sticking. Yeah, I just put duct tape around the bottom of it, mounted Velcro to that, and then put it down there, and it's been great so far. So, love it. I tend to go to some pretty buggy places. The sink tanks in here are very small. I don't like lifting super heavy stuff, especially when it comes to gray water, so I just kept that pretty compact. I don't really use a lot of water anyway. I have additional storage around the sink pump here, so lots and lots of room. And yeah, you probably can't see it, but I have peel and stick up here, and then the floor is peel and stick on top of 3/4 ply. And I've been very happy with the peel and stick. This was like maybe $30 or $40 for a whole big pack of it. And and I used floor glue under, and then I put a nose edge here to keep it. And this stuff is all like super cheap, so the cabinetry was the only expensive part.
And those are just
Yep, it's peel and stick, mounted on ply, and then I sealed it with silicone. But yeah, I was never really familiar with peel and stick before, and then I used it. It's like sold. So it's a company up in Bend, Oregon called OTB Fabrication. I did not have a good experience with them though, so I would say go with someone else. But yeah, and then the fridge slide. Dometic makes these that fit their fridges, so I still have plenty of room to stand here. This opens up this way, and this is a 55. They make I think they make a 45, a 75, and the slide's great. And then more storage is under here. And then I actually use this couch cushion as my bed extender. I was loving the four-wheel campers cushions, so this just pops right out, and my bed pulls out to all the way out to here. So then I'll just pull this up, stick that in. I think it's almost king size when it's all the way pulled out. I can still sort of fit up there if I'm lazy and I don't feel like pulling this all out. But yeah, I've been very happy with this. Oh, my stove's over here. You probably can't see that. So I have a gas can in here. And then you'll see I have some stuff mounted on that side of the truck. That's my Jewel Cush shower setup. So that's hooked up to a lot of different things. The gas, the water tanks, and there's a separate red cord for the hot water. And then you also have to plug that into power. So there's like 5 different cables, but it's instant hot water. And I like shower using that shower setup whenever it's like not a campground like this, but out in the boonies. So honestly, I don't really know. That would be a good question for Stan, I think. Oh, and then one thing, I don't know, are there any other Project M owners out here?
Yeah.
Awesome. Have you had an issue with the struts on this? Okay, so the same company that 4-wheel uses, I think it's Suspire parts. I ended up just getting a beefier set that have like more PSI in them, and it was not PSI, but you know what I mean, the pressure. It's 40 pounds of pressure. Yeah.
So what do you do with the lock when you're inside? See, that's from the inside you can't lock it. So
You can lock it from the outside though,
Yeah,
but you have to remember to get
Right.
your keys.
Yeah, yeah.
I have never locked myself out,
Yeah,
so
but somebody should try to see like a bolt in there.
How do you lock yourself
That's a good
in?
idea.
you just lock it from the outside and then you go in and you close it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
But
see.
So-
Yeah, that makes
sticking a
sense.
bolt in there would be-
Well, this is a 2017 Hawk, 2017 F-150. The F-150 is stock. I haven't done anything to it. I did just get new tires. I'm heading up to Alaska.
Yeah, Bree.
But I have a 200 amp lithium battery. I had to modify the cabinet a little bit to fit it in. Come and take a look. The battery's actually sitting on its side. And then I have an inverter sitting in there too. I have 325 watt solar panel on the roof. It's like a residential. Yeah, it's 200 amp lithium battery. I actually had to cut the cabinet a little. Had to cut the cabinet a little bit and squeeze it in and put it back together. I also had to move the switches. The switches were down here, and the back was hitting the battery. So I moved the switches up in a little vent there. I don't charge from the truck at all. I actually, the original separator is in there, but I just pulled the fuse. I don't even use it. But the 325 watt panel,
I put in a picture on DC converter.
Alright, so this is known variously as a full carb, a lever harp because it uses levers to make sharps for changing keys, or an Irish harp, Celtic harp. That's kind of where it comes from. And it's my travel harp. I just slide it in the on the floor in there. Love having this. So this is a little piece I wrote a little while ago. Yeah, you can.
Welding is one of his jobs, and he built this back porch here, and then modified this step to be able to get in and out very easily. It's been really handy. You can we stack our chairs back here. You can put your wood back here. It's working really well for us. That's it.
That's some bumpers.
Back porch. Yeah. Put your dirty shoes.
Okay, so this is our camper. We bought it new from the factory in 1998. 25 years old. On a second truck, the 2008 truck. We had a couple of years ago. We had the factory put on new canvas, a new seamless top, and a new door. And also, I think it was getting kind of rough, and I patched it up. This Rust-Oleum, this stuff you get at Ace Hardware, and it looked great. So I painted the whole thing with a little city brush, and it's dirty now, but I mean it looks just like new. Really.
What year is your camper?
98.
98.
There's the thing on the back, the little plate. I don't guess the new ones have that.
Yeah.
But so it's basically just to show you, what the trucks can do if you take care of them.
Yeah. So since you've had your camper, is there what has been your most memorable adventure in the camper? I'm sure there's so many. It's a long time to have a camper.
Yeah, we've done Canada, Mexico, all over the place,
Well, cross country.
cross country.
And does yours have the wood interior? The older.
Yes, yeah. We haven't replaced that. The cushions are all original, and that's the next project. Maybe to have new upholstery.
It has a cover on it. And you can just put one of those in there.
This is the bag system, and unfortunately you have to do a little bit of your own engineering. The bully panel fits out. So these things, the pegs go into those holes. Yeah, just fits in. You got your little 4 holes through the side of it. So this fits into those pegs on the moly panel. You pull the pins, you're done. You take this in the house, you load it, you come back, snap it in place, done. Holds a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so this is now a new option that we offer, a shower enclosure.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, there is a
Yeah, and it also has a privacy cover on the top and a little LED light strip so you can bathe in the light at night.
This is one of the better purchases we've made. I was struggling with the awning question and the different brands and what to do, and I thought, well, my wife had been following a lot of van lifers and they use these, and I thought I'll just get this. It's just under $400. This is, I don't know, this will probably be all we ever use. Super well built. If you look at it, the corners are just really well written. These guys have thought of everything when they built this. It's moonshade, and it's 7 by 9, so you can stick it on the side, do the 9 foot long, and stick on the back, you know. Yeah. So they have all kinds of cool attachments. These are the little suction cups. There's big suction cups. There's all kinds of mounting hardware. You can mount it a jillion different ways. The cool thing is, I was hesitant about these suction cups. So we stuck this thing in some wind, whipped it up, and it not only held the suction cups, I figured they'd pop right off. The little guys didn't pop off. I didn't even have to use the big ones. So it's really durable. I'll attach a line here if the wind's a little strong, but otherwise I don't worry too much. That's really harsh. It folds up so bag. And the other cool thing is, you know, you're not collecting rainwater. It's running off. That's really
$3.95 on Amazon.
yeah,
Yeah, I just Googled it.
I love it.
Oh, you put it
Just very little because it's so close. Very little, but you do get a little.
This is a good solution.
Yeah. Yeah. No, sometimes it's on the side. That's why it moves. What if we camp in this side?
Bed put on there with the slide-in camper. So originally mine looked like this gentleman's over here with the stock bed and the slide-in camper. It was a short bed Tacoma, so my bed stopped about here. And then I had the Bowen Customs guys build a utility bed for me, so it just helps with my storage issue. I have the Swift model, so it's the smallest camper that 4-wheel makes. So with that and being 6'3", I have a space issue in there, so the utility bed helped with my storage issue, so I don't have to have totes inside the hallway. Yeah, I've had the truck for about 10 years now and slowly built it up to where it is now. And, just one of the ways I've done it. Brakes. Yeah, it's been fun. I spent a lot of miles in Baja with it, all over the Sierra. And, it's been really good. I got this Swift 2 years ago now. Yeah. Bought it. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I had the camper first and then did the bed after. I just kind of divided up all this, everything on this side I just store for cooking and kind of my camp kitchen stuff. Then on the other side I use my tools and shovel and chair and all that stuff. But it's been fun. The bed weighs only 75 pounds.
t-shirts.
I like the t-shirt.
Thank you. So many people like the t-shirt.
But they didn't seem
Yep. So the only thing I've added to it is all the electrical there on the left. Other than that, I paid for it as is. So it came with the Project M's come with the shelves, and then I paid for the mattress, but it comes standard with the slide out. Yes, to form a mattress or a sleeping position.
So what is the electrical stuff for?
The electrical stuff was to run this, and then now to charge those.
Yeah, that's what he just said. He didn't choose to go with
Yep.
Are you from
Reno, Nevada. Can everyone hear me okay? No, I'll just yell.
You have a good voice.
Thank you, thank you. So this is my Project M. It's a I believe in 2022. I ordered it in November of 21 and got it April of 22. So don't know which type it is. It's an 8-foot bed. So it's an 8-foot Project M. I ordered it pre-wired for solar, which I modified slightly. I'll explain that in a minute. And then I ordered the mattress, and that's it. Oh, and the access door on the right. Other than that, it's about as stock as you can get. I don't work from home or remotely, and I'm not retired, so camping is very much a recreation for me, not my livelihood, although it'd be nice to be that way someday. So I want something that I can unload, pop the top, and have camp set up, but I also want to be able to haul lumber, haul trash, help people move, because that always ends up happening. So I wanted to be able to do all that, and I still wanted a truck. So that's why I went with the Project M over the actual campers. I paid $14 for mine, and then I built the solar and the electrical myself. It's a 100 amp hour Battleborn battery, 1,000 watt Renogy inverter, and then a Victron solar charge controller. It all was running off of 200 watts of flexible for that. And then when I got these, I wanted to be able to charge them from solar. And so I threw 800 watts of rigid solar panels on top. And so now in direct sunlight, I should be able to charge one of those at a time. And at the very least, only minimally deplete my battery. And then once I'm done charging, of course, 30 minutes of solar is probably gonna bring it all the way back up to full. The bikes do fit in here, as well as the long table, totes, tire, begrudgingly, that, the regular propane tank, 20-pound propane tank. So I don't do a whole lot of winter camping, but if I do, I've got just one of those little tent camper buddy heaters, and that running off of that 20-pound propane tank will go over 100 hours indefinitely, or straight on the low setting.
We had a shell model that was fully empty. We didn't get any options on the inside. No furnace. No, literally nothing.
When we ordered it, we wanted to, in 2019, we wanted to know what it would look like without the heater furnace, because that was such an uncommon way to order it, and we couldn't find a picture or anything. So obviously there would be nothing there, but I wanted to know what does nothing look like, and we didn't know until we actually got ours.
So,
No.
So we did a front dinette setup, but our dinette is now raised. So you step up onto a platform, and then the bench seats are basically like also raised. So you have a lot of storage underneath. So we were able to have 4 seasons worth of clothes each underneath each dinette seat. The bed doesn't pull out as far as it used to because we wanted more counter space. So I've moved the bumpers up to the bed, and the bed is a little bit shorter than the standard. I maybe took 3 or 4 inches away.
Quick backtrack, we lived in it full time, so we built it. We wanted to build it ourselves to give ourselves more storage than the floor plans come with. So that's why we got the bare shell, and we built it all with plywood, not knowing what we were doing. We didn't even really have a plan. We started in the closest to the cab of the truck, and we're like, all right, this is cool. That's working. Let's move backward a little, build a new thing. Figured it out as we went.
So one of the things that we noticed, and
like no shade to the company, but our storage needs weren't going to be met by a regular build. So that was why we went with a shell. So we were able to maximize our storage. So we have above the battery box is a whole full deep storage here with the shelf. On the other side we have basically cabinets like you'd have at home that have a shelf that go across. And we were able to fit tons of food, multiple pots and pans, plates, you know, every spice, every sauce that you want. And then we have a chest fridge. It's an ARB Zero fridge, has very low draw. One of the only things that we aren't crazy about is that when the top is down, you really can't get in there. So one of the perks of having a regular fridge is you can get in there when the top is still down.
But you can though.
You can, it's just hard. You have to like really reach in and know what you're looking for, and you can't see it. And then underneath our fridge, we have a little platform, and that's where our Coleman stove goes. So we were able to bring that outside. I like to cook outside anyway, so to have a you know, full mounted stove on the inside kind of wasn't something I was looking for anyway. We also have a porta potty on a pole down there that we set up. Behind the porta potty is a little spot for all of the chemicals, you know, your gloves, all the things that you need to like maintain a cassette toilet. And then on the other side we have room for our toolbox, our dog food. There's a little Tupperware with 2 drawers that has extra things that you might need, medications and yada yada. We have also upgraded our fans to the new Air Max fans, which are so great, and it's a very easy upgrade. I see people ask on the Facebook group all the time if it's easy, and once you get that first one done, you kind of know it is pretty easy. It's basically plug and play.
A little scraping of the hole.
Yeah, the butyl tape and all that stuff, but once you know what you're doing, you can do it. We also upgraded to lithium batteries, so we have 200 amp hours of Battleborn batteries. We have flexible solar panels on the roof.
That lithium upgrade too was a little confusing, but not too bad. She figured it out on her own, not knowing really what to do, and you were able. She got the whole thing done with
Lots of research, but I figured it out. What else?
We also added a sink over here that is like super primitive. It's just a sink in plywood with hose coming down into a 7-gallon jug and a foot pump from
So the foot pump, it's a 2020. So the foot pump is basically what you'd see on boats, and you can control, like if you push slow, you can get a little bit of water. If you push harder, you can get like a good force of water. And then it just drains with gravity. So it's easy to fill, empty. It doesn't break. There's no pumps that are going to be loud or annoying or stop working. But there's also no hot water, so we use hot water from the stove.
Our advice we always give people, who someone said it, we can't credit them, we don't remember, but vertical space you're not using is wasted space. So if you're trying to either build one or just figure out how to put your stuff, try to make it all the way up to where the camper closes. Because if you're not doing that, that's why we raise the dinette. So when we're sitting up there, our heads are kind of close to the roof, but they're not hitting, and we can even see out the windows at our dinette.